We can. Thank you so much for
All
taking
right.
some time with
No
us.
problem.
We have a handful of questions for you, so we're going to get started right away. Let's
All
kick
right.
off with Devin Henry. Go ahead, Devin.
Thank you, Marissa. Hey, Michael, congratulations on making it into the playoffs. And I know you and Alex are both from Arizona, but from two very different places, very differently up the ranks, very different times as well. I'm just curious, what is your relationship like with Alex, or what is your perception of him?
I got a good relationship with Alex. I feel like not just because he's from Arizona, but I always have enjoyed hanging out with him and appreciate, kind of his journey too of, driving for, underfunded teams and Tommy Baldwin and, losing his ride last minute and then getting an opportunity to fill in. So, him being successful, I felt like was a really neat story, but also an eye opener to a lot of the owners that, hey, just because you're driving a car that doesn't run up front every weekend doesn't mean you don't have the ability. So I've always been a fan and pulling for him. And, being from Arizona, I mean, if we count Tucson as part of Arizona, but yeah, he's got a great opportunity this year, with those Hendrick cars being so fast. And, obviously he's got 2 wins and a really good spot to contend for the championship this year. So, yeah, it's good for him. He did run me off the road there at Sonoma for a top 10. So I won't be getting him back in the near future here in the playoffs. But if you see him, you just let him know, okay?
Will do. Thank you, Michael. Best of luck to you guys.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to take our next question from Chris Estrada. Go ahead, Chris.
Michael, thanks for joining us. I asked this question to Christopher Bell. So you locked in earliest of all to the postseason with your Daytona 500 win. So you've had a lot of time to seek out advice on how to handle the Cup playoffs for the first time. Who have you sought out for that advice, and what's the most impactful piece of advice that's stuck in your head?
Yeah, so kind of 2 parts to it. Even though we locked in, so to speak, early, there's always that chance that there's more than 16 winners. So I didn't really feel locked in. I never really allowed myself to get super excited about that until 2 or 3 weeks ago when it was finally official that we'd be locked in. But yeah, as far as advice and things like that, it's a little bit challenging because the drivers that are current right now aren't going to give you much advice. But I spent a little bit of time with Clint Boyer last week at a Ford event, a Ford promotion that we were doing, and talked about, the playoffs and talked about, Richmond coming up and just kind of how he approached things. So, everybody's got a different style and sort of a different philosophy. I feel like for our team and where we're at, we sort of know what we have to do and how we have to do it. And so we kind of have our own approach to it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take from Deb Williams. Go ahead, Deb.
Thank you, Marissa. And Michael, thank you for taking time to join us today. Kind of to expand a little bit on what Chris was talking about, because of you winning so early in the season, and now the playoffs are finally here, do you find that you're having to control your emotions? Or your jitters there? What are your emotions going into the playoffs for the first time?
Yeah, so it's been, like today's been fun, just talking about being in the playoffs and, what it means, it kind of makes you appreciate and just enjoy, the process. But more than anything for me is I've just been pretty laser focused on what I need to do and what we need to do. I haven't really allowed myself to get too far ahead of where we're at. Right now we have Darlington, and Darlington's the most important race in my life. And after Darlington, it'll be Richmond. And so I haven't thought about, a lot of those extra things, just trying to make sure that we're as prepared as we can for what's in front of us. But at the same time, like I said, I'm extremely thankful to have the opportunity to race for a championship and to be a part of, one of 16 drivers to do that in NASCAR. But I'm also, trying not to let myself overthink things too much.
Okay, thank you. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take our next one from Ashlyn Register. Go ahead, Ashlyn.
Hi, Michael. With being from Arizona and the championship race in Phoenix, what are some of your favorite local restaurants and spots in Arizona you like tell drivers to go to or you personally go to?
Yeah, so, being from Phoenix and Glendale and having great, Mexican restaurants. That's probably the thing I miss most. In North Carolina, we just don't have the same quality or the same style of Mexican food. So I'm always loading up my crew guys and taking them to different places. My favorite place, Pedro's in Glendale, actually shut down in the last year or two. So unfortunately, that one's not there anymore. But McDowell's and Popo's, those are places that we typically go to. Carlos O'Brien's is a place I went to growing up. So there's a lot of great restaurants that we try to hit.
Thank you.
All right, take our next one from Aaron England. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Marissa. Thanks, Michael. It's nice to see you again. Congratulations. I was actually going to head the same direction that Deb went, but I'll change it up. Last couple of times I've chatted with you, we've touched base on the emphasis of Christ and how proud you and your family are on that. Is there any kind of religious anecdote or lesson that applies to your 2021 season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, there's always a story to the journey and something to take from it, and for me, it's just all about perseverance and endurance and, just obviously being in this sport a really long time and not having success until this year. A lot of losses, a lot of years where it's been a grind and a struggle. And so, that's probably the thing that resonates the most with me this year is just perseverance and endurance and then also too, just how it's paid off. It would have been very easy to give up several years ago and not see it through. But, by staying faithful to what I feel like I was supposed to do and grinding through times that weren't that fun, now I'm getting to enjoy, something awesome and experience it. So it's been, it's humbling too, it's not, I didn't have to win the race to, feel like I've accomplished something, but it has been a real, just moment of this joy to take it all in and appreciate it.
Thanks for changing gears with me. Best of luck.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, we'll take our next one from Jack Johnson. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, hey, Michael. So I'm wondering, with your home track being Phoenix and all the changes that's come to the track over the last couple of years now, it obviously has the championship race. Just your evaluation on kind of the experience, all the updates that have been done to the garage area, and just how much it's changed since the first time you've seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing how much it's changed there. I mean, I think I've been through 3 different track configurations and moving a start-finish line, and now obviously with everything for the fans in the infield and the experience that you can have, and the garages and the pavilions. I mean, I think that it's one of the cooler racetracks that fans could go to and really see the inner workings of the garage and the teams and just how it all functions. And it makes me proud to be from Phoenix and from the area. And the race fans are extremely loyal and have been for a long time, and so many families and so many campers and motorhomes out there. I mean, it truly is a family sport, and to be able to have a facility that sort of matches the dedication of our fans is really cool.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take our next one from Marty Sakala. Go ahead, Marty.
Thanks, Marissa. Hey, Michael. Thanks for the time. In March Madness terms, you were pretty much the Cinderella story of the playoffs, but I want to ask, your average finishes since 2018 at each track has been outside the top 20 in the round of 16. Is there anything to gain or lose? Do you need luck on your side to get to these next rounds possibly?
Yeah, so kind of 2 things with that is, this is the best season that I've ever had and the best that we've performed as a race team. And so statistically, it might not look that great, but, I think if you look back to this year of just our top finishes, for me over my career have been this year at a lot of racetracks, so I feel like we have the speed and the momentum to surprise some people in the playoffs, but we're also realistic of where we're at. I mean, I have to have 3 incredible races in order to advance in the next round. And I know that, we know that. We're not naive to it. We know where we're at as a race team and what we need to do. And so we got to hit home runs here the next 3 races. And if we don't, we won't advance. And so we all know that, and we're ready to see what happens.
Appreciate the time, man. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and we'll take one final question from Tino Patigno. Go ahead, Tino.
Thank you. Hey, Michael, I'm just wondering how much of a reset is this playoffs for you and your team after having an average finish of 25.3 in the last 9 races?
Yeah, the last handful of races have been not fun. I mean, it hasn't been from a lack of performance. You know, we've actually had speed. You go to the Indy road course, you know, running in the top 7 there, hit the curb and finish in the 30s. You know, you look at Michigan, where we ran in the top 12 to 13 all day and get tore up in that last restart and finish 20th. And so, you know, it hasn't been fun the last 4 or 5 weeks. You know, Daytona DNF, right, with an engine failure. So the reset is nice. It's nice to reset the points. It's nice to be able to start, you know, 15th this weekend at Darlington, and just kind of hit that reset. You know, you can't always control the ebbs and flows of racing. You know, you look at those first 5 races and we were crushing it, you know, not just with the win, but top 10, top 10, top 10. And then you hit this funk that we got into now where, you know, DNF, crash, just things not always in your control. So it is nice to hit that reset button and have a fresh outlook going to Darlington. And that's how motorsports is. The momentum can swing at any point. We have to have the momentum swing our way here the next 3 weeks. And we know that. And we wish we were heading into the playoffs with a lot of momentum and not a DNF and all the things that we have. But the reality is that's where we're at. And we get to start fresh this weekend.
Thank you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Michael. Well, thank you so much for taking some time with us. We wish you the best of luck during the playoffs.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.